Are you ready to unlock the incredible potential of Microsoft Powerapps in just 8 minutes by building an app from scratch, leveraging on your existing Excel data source? Welcome to Office and Beyond. In this video, we're going to walk you through the essential steps to create your very first Power App. Power Apps is a game-changing tool that empowers you to build custom applications tailored to your unique needs. And in this video, we're covering the fastest way to get started. We explore the various options for creating your app from scratch, using templates or from data source. And in this lesson, we are putting the spotlight on the data source approach because it's the most common starting point for most people. The learning objective for this video is to import data from Excel data source as Power Apps data source, generate the Power Apps application from the data source, tune the generated Power Apps app for real-world use, and then share the Power Apps application. With that, let's get ready to dive in. So let us start by navigating to our office.com site. In my case, I'll be navigating to my Microsoft 365 Developer Program office.com site. So here we are in office.com. Click on Explore Your Apps to navigate to Power Apps. Here is the Power Apps main page, and we want to make sure that we are creating our app in the right environment. So please check out the environment. Make sure that you're connected to the right environment. To start creating an application in Power Apps, we first need to create the application data source. The default application data source will be in Microsoft Dataverse. So here's my Excel file containing the sample data that I will be importing into the application. We'll be using this data for the application. As you can see, it's just a regular Excel file. You could just use your own data in Excel and then load it in as well. Power Apps can use many types of data sources, whether it's from Dataverse, SharePoint, Excel, or SQL. But in this video, we're focusing on using Dataverse as the data source. To begin to create our app, we'll navigate to Apps, and then let's go ahead and select Start with Data. Click on this will bring us to this page. And this page allows us to drop in our Excel file or start with a blank table. In this case, we'll just go ahead and drop in an Excel file. Here we go. We're dropping in the Excel file. Okay, here's the table that's been created in the Dataverse. So I'm just going to go ahead and rename the table name accordingly. In my case, it's fixed assets. I'll make sure that the primary column is asset name, which I want. And I'm just going to go ahead and just check on the other fields. In this case, I'll be changing the purchase price number, the data type to decimal. And I'm going to change the depreciation column as well to the right data type, which is decimal. And finally, I'm going to change the category column or field. I'm going to change this to a choice data type. And choice data type is computer and office furniture. There's a value number there. We can just leave it as it is because we're not going to use it. We're just going to use the label instead. I just go ahead and update it. And we want to make sure that first row is used as column headers. And let's go ahead and create the app. And here we go. It will start creating the application. If you're enjoying the video so far, please consider subscribing, like, and share. So here's the app that's been created. So it comes with the basic navigation, the top bar, the stack navigation to allow us to search for the record, and then the form itself. So basically, it comes with the basic navigation. So let's just explore it now. So we're going to hit Preview to preview the app that's been generated. So here's the site navigation. It allows us to navigate through the records. We click on Edit, and we can edit the fields here. So, and we can cancel it. We can do a search, or we can add a record as well. So here we go. We can add in a record. It allows us to add, and we have the option to save or cancel it as well. So that's the basic application that's been generated. As next step, we're going to fine-tune the application that's been generated. Normally, after the application has been generated, we can't just use it as it is. We need to fine tune it. In this case, we're going to change or amend the site navigation to surface the right fields to be displayed. Then we're going to adjust it further by changing the form itself and arranging the fields and hiding certain elements on the form that we do not want. So let's go ahead and do that. We begin by navigating to the right element, right fields. So in this case, here's the main screen, and that's the screen container. And we want to navigate down to the record gallery control, and clicking on the edit icon allows us to edit the field for this display item. And we're going to change that to asset name because we want to display the asset name field instead of the depreciation rate. So it makes more sense that way. Next, we're going to change the order of the fields that's displayed on the form itself. We're going to move the asset name up there because that's the main one that's to be displayed. And we're going to go ahead and change the other fields here. In this case, in terms of the purchase date, we don't want to see the time. We just need the date. So to do that, select the field, unlock it, and then we're just going to go ahead and select the hour field and hide it by checking off the visible or toggling off the visible toggle. And we're also going to toggle off the display, the visible display for the separator. And with that, we've hidden the hour and minute fields, showing only the date field. Next, we're going to fine-tune this a bit further. In depreciation rate and purchase price, it's not displaying the formatting that I would like it to have. So I'm going to change this. I've already unlocked these two fields. And here I'm going to change the formatting to make sure that it displays it in the right format. So in this case, I want to make sure that it displays the decimal points. All right. And I'm going to do the same thing for the purchase price as well. So the purchase price field has already been unlocked as well. If you can't change it, make sure you select it, right click, and then unlock it. So here I am putting in the formatting that I would like it to display. So in this case, I want it to display 2 decimal points. All right, so it's displaying the way I would want it. So the next change that I'd like to make is to the record title itself. By default, it's just showing the field name as a record title. I'm going to comment that out with 2 front strokes. And then I'm going to change that to just to display exit record. It doesn't make sense to just show the selected field because when we add a new record, it will not be showing the right record. So okay, it looks much better now. So here I am, just running a preview of the application, just going through that. Right, so selecting the fields or the records from the site navigation, and I'm able to search for the records. So it's working as we want it to do. And we can also edit it and update the field values in there and save it so everything looks okay. And when we add a new record, we can key in the new asset. And I'm just going to key that in, the new asset, and select the date. And it's a nice drop down for me as well. And here I'm keying the other field values. And then I'm going to save it. Once I save it, it just displays a blank screen, no item to display. So it looks like we got to fix that as well. So this is the behavior of the generate application. So we want to fine tune that. So let's go ahead and just fine tune this. So to do that, we are going to navigate to the form. So form 1, and we're going to select item property. And instead of displaying the selected record in the gallery, we are going to change that to current item, which is a variable that's been set by the application. Whenever a new record is created, the current item will be pointing to that, or when a record is selected, the current item will be the selected record. So we're using this variable in our case. So here we go, testing the final fine-tuned application. So we're going to add a new record, key in the fields, key in the depreciation rate, purchase price, and save it. So now it's displaying the record that's been keyed in instead of a blank screen. And here we are, we can search for the record that's been added. So everything's working as expected. And as we select the different records, the record will be displayed on the display form. So it's working as we intended it to be. So with that, let's proceed to the next step. In this next step, we're going to save the application and publish it. To save it, let's navigate to the Save button. Click on Save to save it. And then let's publish it. With that, we are done. We've created our first Powerapps app within 8 minutes. Finally, we're going to look at deploying and sharing the application. So to do that, let's navigate to the Share button. Click on Share. And here, let's key in the username or the email of the users that we want to share the application with. In this case, it's Adele. And I want to make sure that she's either a co-owner or she's just a user. In this case, I'm just going to make her a user. So I'm not going to give her the co-owner access. I'm going to key in the email message, and I want to make sure that she has the necessary data permission to access my table. In this case, I'm just going to give her the system customizer role because that role gives her access to my table. So I'm going to make sure that the Send email checkbox is checked and click on Send or Share in this case. And off it go. The system will send email to Adele and also update the permission. So here we've navigated to Adele's Outlook. And in her Outlook, there is an email that she has received. And from there, she has this invitation to the application. Please check out my new app. And she's just going to go ahead and run the app. So that will drop her into the application. And clearly she has now have access to the application. She can navigate through the application, look through the data, browse the data, navigating through it, edit it, update the data, and also to save it. So with that, the application has been generated and we have also shared the application with Adele. To recap, in this video, we have looked at importing Excel as an application data source, generate the application from this data source, and then we've looked at tuning the generated application for real-world use, and then finally, we've shared or deployed the application. If you found this video useful, please do consider subscribing, like, and share. Thank you.